Hey guys, it's 4:42 a.m. December 24th, Christmas Eve 2020, and I just watched the new Steve McQueen movie called Lovers Rock. Let's talk about it. Yeah, so this is technically a movie by Steve McQueen. Actually, more so technically a TV show episode. It's a part of his new collection called the Small Axe Collection. It's basically a collection of five feature-length films, over an hour or sometimes even up to 2 hours. Each of these are about different aspects about Black culture in Britain, and it's a variety of different styles and tackles very different stories and themes and such like that. And I have yet to watch any of them actually, besides this one. And this is actually the first Steve McQueen picture I've ever seen, which is I'm really ashamed to say. I've been really meaning to catch 12 Years a Slave, which is obviously the big one that kind of put him onto the scene, but as well as Shane and Widows, I really need to get into his work. And I've been looking forward to Lovers Rock all year. Before I knew that he was releasing the full 5 episode collection, I had heard of this because I think it was screened at some festivals. I just heard some buzz about it online, and I just saw some screen caps of it, and like kind of a loose plot description and just the name Lovers Rock, and I was just instantly intrigued. And I'm so happy with the product that came with it. It is really unlike anything I've ever seen. It's a little bit reminiscent of Climax. I even though saying I've never seen anything like it reminiscent of Climax, but it is in the way of there's a lot of dancing in it, and the dancing is so well choreographed and directed, and really adds such a depth to each of the characters without saying anything, which is wildly impressive. The movie really is all about capturing a moment, a very specific moment and place and time. Sometime I don't think they really ever give specifics. You assume sometime in the like 80s, perhaps maybe 90s, but just a random house in Britain, people getting together and having a really big party, and it's fucking incredible. There's a DJ, there's alcohol, there's food being prepared, lots of people all dressing up, and it just really puts you in the spot like you are there with these people. You're friends with these people. You're going to this party. You're dancing with them. You're experiencing everything that they are. And it's such an engaging movie that really, like I said, puts you in the spot. And it's so impressive in the many ways that it does that, specifically due to the incredible direction from Steve McQueen. I mean, these dance sequences really just make you lose yourself in a way that is a slight to the movie at some points, where I do lose myself perhaps too often in some of these dance scenes, and I was kind of losing, just like dancing around in my mind, thinking about random stuff. But anytime I would start to do that, there'd be some really interesting character moment on the screen in the dancing, with a really just a slight gaze or a hand movement or a camera pan into a certain spot of the dancing, and it just instantly pulls you back in, alongside really great tension throughout. I don't want to give any, I forgot to say this earlier, I don't want to give any spoilers away for this, because there's not much to spoil, but at the same time, I think you just really need to experience it. And there's lots of really great beats of tension throughout, with certain characters potentially doing certain things and watching that kind of unravel. And it really adds just a layer to the movie that makes it engaging, because though those dance scenes are incredibly impressive and mystifying and enchanting to watch, um, you know, it does need sort of anchor to the movie, and that really is the incredible, just like, characters and character dynamics that you see going on. It mainly follows one main character, Martha, and her kind of meeting up with the guy, basically, as she just meets at the party. That's kind of the main point, and it's about them and growing their relationship. then just all of the other people around them, her friend that she came to the party with, the birthday girl who the party's hosted for, um, and just all random characters that don't say anything but still convey so much emotion and just character depth, which is just so impressive. That okay, I usually don't do little quick edits in the closet cookies, but I went on a little bit of a tangent right here talking about who wrote this movie, and I accidentally said Spike Lee instead of Steve McQueen. Steve McQueen wrote this fucking movie. He wrote the screenplay. It's not based on a novel. Um, yeah, that's it. Just building these really rich environments and really lived in environments and having these such humanistic and like real people living in them is just an absolute treat to watch. It feels good watching something that, um, you really haven't seen anything like it to this type of degree. And it also just has a great little love story in it that it makes you so just swoon with love and smile at certain points. It's just an absolute treat of a movie to watch, truly being transported to this very specific time and place and being there. And it's just such an interesting feat of filmmaking and creativity that is something to really marvel at in that sense. And it's also just a fun watch. Like I said, it's not a perfect movie. Uh, it does get a little lost in itself and a little slow at certain points, as well as because of that, it kind of takes away from some of the tension built up throughout. There's also a great little bit about that tension I wanted to say as well. Just there's a sound effect that the DJ does that goes on throughout. He does it quite a few times whenever he's switching songs, and it is the perfect, this tiny little addition that adds so much anxiety to this movie that is just such a small little creative thing that is adds so much just depth to this movie. That's really impressive, and you'll recognize the sound when it does play when you watch it. It's really incredible and just so well crafted, like everything else in this movie. But you need to watch this movie. All five of them are on Amazon Prime, I believe. You can see all five of them. I'm definitely gonna hop on that and just binge those over the next few days. But Lovers Rock exceeded my expectation. It's for the lovers and the rockers, as the end end title screen says, and it's just a beautiful little piece of work. Check it out on Amazon Prime. Absolutely. That's gonna be it for this one, though, guys. Even though I think I'm gonna post this before the podcast because I'm still gonna keep the podcast to post it. I'm gonna post it on midnight of Christmas Day. Um, so I'll post this obviously on Christmas Eve, just probably in a few hours after I hit stop recording on this, as I usually do with the closet cookies. And so this is more like a little Christmas present stocking right here, just a little stocking gift for you guys. So hope you enjoy this and check out the podcast that's coming out on Christmas. It's a good one for sure. I still will do a closet quickie next week. I just watched this movie and I really wanted to talk about it because it was just such a beautiful, a unique piece of art. I needed to share it with you guys and highly recommend it for sure. Anyway, that'll do it for this. Check out the podcast, In the Closet with Jacob Nestor. I had my buddy August on this week, airing Christmas. It's on YouTube, Anchor, Spotify, most of the podcast sharers. Check me out on YouTube, Jacob Nestor. I have all of those, closet quickies, other short films I'm making. I hopefully will have this short film out in the first week of January, so stay tuned for that. Check out the podcast, In the Closet WJN, on Instagram or Twitter. Check me out, Jacob Nestor 568, Letterboxd, Twitter, and Instagram. Thanks for listening, guys. See you.